This is me 5 years ago. And this is also me, currently. I've been lifting for around 5 years now, and I've made a lot of mistakes. And if I had to start over, completely from scratch, what would I do differently? In this video, I'm answering this exact question. Because here's the thing, when people start, they think the thing that matters most is having a good workout plan, good nutrition, understanding the basics of training, and results will just come. And don't get me wrong, these things are important, but there's one thing that is even more important, and I see beginners making this exact mistake. Let me ask you something. When you see a big guy, a strong guy, someone you look up to in the gym, have you noticed what he does before, during, and after a set? Because if you look closely, there's a pattern. And I'm not talking about how he's doing the exercise itself. You see, before a set, he's not joking around or mindlessly scrolling on his phone. He's dialed in, visualizing, thinking about the weight, about the repetitions, about the exercise itself. During the set, he's locked in. Every single repetition matters. There's this look on his face, like he's fighting some demons, which, to be honest, he might be. And after the set, he doesn't go instantly to his phone to check out social media, does he? Now compare that to most beginners. They sit on the machine, do a few reps, maybe check their phone. There's no real focus, no real drive. It's almost like they're just checking a box, like, yep, workout is done. And look, I was kind of the same way. When I first started, I thought just showing up was enough. I thought that as long as I did the workout, the progress would come. And this is the first major thing that I would change, is changing my mindset. See, you can have the perfect plan. You can track your calories to the gram. You can read every fitness blog, if you even read blogs nowadays. You can watch all the videos you want. But if you're not bringing intensity, if you're not showing up with real effort, none of that matters. Intensity beats any information every single time. And I'm not telling you to go out to the gym and start screaming on every set and every repetition, or collapse and die after a workout. It just means you need to stop going through the motions. You need to start training with intention and with purpose, like it matters, because it truly does. Once you start approaching your workouts with focus and drive, that's when everything starts to change. Now let's say that you've made that mindset shift. You're locked in, you're training hard, but now there's a new problem, because if your effort is high, but your strategy is off, you're still going to hit a wall. And that's where I got stuck. When I was starting out, I followed a lot of workout programs from YouTubers, and I don't want to offend any YouTubers, especially because I'm doing videos now, which is funny, but a lot of them, they're either genetic outliers who would grow no matter what they would do, or they've built their entire lives around looking good, perfect lighting, perfect meals, and they don't really have a job outside of doing content. And that's no real life for most of you watching. So what happens when you try to copy their exact plan? 6 days a week, 2-hour sessions, 15 to 20 different exercises per muscle group, you'll wonder why you're burning out, why you're not recovering, and more importantly, why you're not getting results. That's when I realized that you don't need a perfect plan. You need to have a workout plan that basically fits your life, which most of these influencers don't know how to do that. Because again, their life is completely different than yours. But I'll come back to that point later. Before I share my training blueprint, I want to talk about something that I ignored for years. 4 years to be exact. And that thing was cardio. Yep, I was one of those guys that thought cardio will kill your gains. I thought cardio would only make sense if you were cutting for maybe a bodybuilding show, or something that runners did, not something that I needed. But then I finally made the switch. I switched to a hybrid approach, and guess what? My recovery improved. My energy throughout my workouts improved. My sleep got better. I didn't lose my breath after a set of squats, normally. And more importantly, it didn't kill my gains. In fact, in my eyes, I think I have a better physique than before. So I was still able to make progress, even adding in cardio. And the cardio that I chose was running. If I was really taking into consideration my gains, I wouldn't go for running. I would go for something with lower impact. But this goes to show that even doing the worst type of cardio, you can still make gains. Cardio simply doesn't take away from your lifting. If anything, it unlocks another level of performance. This was a humbling one for me, because I thought I was always eating enough. I thought I was getting enough protein, and I thought I was just doing everything right. I thought I was eating 3,000 calories a day, when in reality, I was under eating maybe 500 to 700 calories a day without even realizing it. And if I could go back, the way I would fix this is to actually learn how to track food, learn what macros are, how to weigh food, and just simply track, really. There's not much to it, just learning the nutrition fundamentals. And look, this doesn't mean that you have to track forever, but you need that baseline understanding, because if your nutrition isn't dialed in, you're basically trying to build a house with no bricks. Now let's go back to training. Like I said previously, the key is principles, not a rigid plan. Here's what I follow now and what I wish I had started with. Train each muscle group twice a week. Aim for around 10 to 20 sets per week per muscle group. Push most working sets, if not all working sets, close to failure or to failure, and pick exercises that actually feel good for the muscle you want to target. There are no special exercises. Sure, some exercises might be better than others, but overall, the difference won't be that major. And chances are, if you don't like the exercise you picked, you probably won't want to progress. So pick exercises that you enjoy so that you can have the will and the desire to progress, because that's more important than anything else. Oh, and one last thing I almost forgot. Don't forget on progressive overload, increasing repetitions or weight on a week-to-week basis. That's it. No need for fancy splits or 17 different variations of curls. Just choose movements you connect with, push hard, and track your progress. And if there's one thing 5 years of training has taught me, it's this: that you're never done learning. I look back at what I was doing a year ago, and even now I think that I wasn't training properly, that I was doing some things wrong or not as perfectly. And a year from now, I'll probably say the same thing. That's what makes this whole thing of lifting rewarding. It's not about lifting heavier or looking better. It's about growth, physically and mentally. And let me ask you this. What's one mistake you made when you started training, or something you're still figuring out? Drop it in the comments. I'd love to hear your story. And if you found this helpful, then check out this video because YouTube thinks that you'll enjoy it. And hey, maybe you do.